Welcome to Thursday, May 29th, 2025, your day with a podcast being brought to you by ConverseCountyTourism.com. Feel the energy of Converse County. Explore Douglas's Railroad Heritage, Ayers Natural Bridge, and the Jackalope Legend, Glen Rockbow Scenic Trails, Dinosaur History, and Small Town Charm. Plan your visit at ConverseCountyTourism.com. Well, beautiful shot there, the Sawtooth there above Bridgeport, California. Going to show you some snow-covered mountains in a couple of photos here in a moment. But the pesky low, responsible for what was a fabulous stretch of wet weather in many areas that really needed it, well, it's moving on out. Therefore, a warming trend is going to commence, and it's going to be a pretty big warm-up. It's already been pretty warm west of the Continental Divide over the last several days, but now that heat will expand north and east some, and that'll take us through the weekend. Now, you're going to get garden variety, hit-and-miss showers and thunderstorms through Sunday. What does garden variety mean? Well, it's a shower, a thunderstorm here or there, nothing that's going to really reach severe levels. They won't be long-lasting, they won't be big, but they'll be out there, kind of spotty, between today and Sunday. Then we have this possible larger Pacific trough in front arriving early next week. This will bring cooler weather, and it will likely bring a good chance of widespread showers and thunderstorms to many areas as we get into Monday and Tuesday and next week. And as we mentioned yesterday, early next week, especially Monday, is a severe weather day potential, especially along the Front Range. One thing that showed up last night was not really expected, but we did have K-index levels hit 7 last night, and the Aurora Borealis made a showing, as you can see here in far northern Wyoming yesterday evening and overnight, as the sun really threw out a little bit of a surprise of a pretty strong geomagnetic storm that went all the way to a G3. So the sun is staying active. So like what Christina did here, be vigilant and keep that camera handy. The sun is still staying very busy. Snow photos, I told you I'd show you some, and here are some. Here's a shot of some significant snow still up into the Bighorn Mountains. And the snow pack in the northern and central Bighorns is very impressive now heading into early June. Here's a beautiful shot from Rocky Mountain National Park, and you can see the peaks there in the back still covered in quite a bit of snow. Beautiful shot there in Thermopolis. What's beautiful about this is not only the sun, but the grass, the moisture that has really been quite good in Hot Springs County this spring. So let's hope that continues here into the month of June. Beautiful shot there at Fremont Lake a couple of days ago above Pinedale. The satellite photos this morning show that massive cloudiness here that was up here yesterday. You can see it's trending slowly east-southeast. So there's going to be some active weather here of showers and thunderstorms with this heading east-southeast and away. And you can see we'll still have a little bit of low cloudiness to start the day in some areas with the patches of blue, but a lot of clear sky here, a lot of high pressure over the rest of the west. Now, that pesky low that we talked about really did a lot, but if we go back since May 1st, show you a couple of maps here. So this is from CocoRa's, that volunteer network that I talk about all the time, and go to this website. There's a section there where you can click on maps, and then there's a section that says interactive maps to where you can kind of build maps like I'm doing right here. If you're interested in tracking precipitation in your area or other areas, go to this website. It's free, and you can see people's reports and why this is so important. What you're seeing here is, if you look at the legend there on the left, so what I'm showing you is Colorado, Kansas, Texas, Oklahoma, the Panhandles, northern New Mexico here. Wherever you see red dots, you're looking at over 4 inches of rain, 4 to 9.99 inches for the month of May so far. This does not count the rain that fell yesterday. Yellow means over 2 inches of rain, and the green dots between 1 and 2 inches of rain. So you can kind of see the variety and the differences you get from locations. But when you see the yellow and the red in a lot of areas, look at the Colorado Front Range, look at Kansas, look at Oklahoma, then we'll show you more of Nebraska here in a moment. But there's this little area right here that hasn't gotten as much rain, but decent amounts of rain. The yellow and the red really showing where the abundant rainfall has been during the month of May. So going further north, you can see that South Dakota, wow, South Dakota, as we've been showing you, going back into northern Wyoming, southern areas of Montana, if we just kind of highlight this area right here, has been an area that has just been a boon in the month of May, especially Nebraska and South Dakota, far northeast and north central Wyoming in particular. But we even got some red dots in the middle of the really severe drought areas right there. Now you can see around Laramie County, there's a lot of green, just a couple of yellows, but after yesterday's rain, a lot of those greens will go to yellow for over 2 inches for the month. So it's been a much better last 4 weeks, that's for sure. And the latest drought monitor shows that a lot of those red dots in South Dakota, Nebraska, and east central Wyoming were the areas that got the best rain. We're just going to have to hope for the monsoon to help out down here later on this year. But look, I want you to look at the difference just a few weeks can make and when it starts to rain again. This is the soil moisture anomaly as of May 11th. So not long ago, you can see this east-west area of a very poor soil moisture profile. But if you go to where we were as of yesterday, that's gone away. It's not gone away completely, but you saw the green up here. As we know, it's been wet up there, but big help right here. The soil moisture anomaly really showed some big improvement since the rain started to come back in again. So here's your pesky upper level low. It's beginning to move out. High pressure is building on in. This upper level low off of Southern California doesn't have much weather with it. This could become a player later on. We'll talk about that in a future podcast. As we go into the weekend, a broad area of high pressure comes in. So this is going to allow things to really begin to warm up. And this is the 5-day temperature anomaly, basically from today through Monday. So this coolness here is really kind of a remnant of today and tomorrow. But you can see the warmth expanding and arcing around the high. And if we look at temperatures this weekend, these are the forecasted high temperatures this weekend. So 70s and 80s out here where it's been very cool, getting hot in the deserts, the Central Valley of California. Look at Boise. Look at the Snake River Valley, Southeast Oregon here, just really heating up. And then that goes into Sunday. Now the heat expands and goes eastward. Notice it cools off here in the Pacific Northwest as we get into Sunday. That's because of the approaching front. But you can see the heat building. It's just that time of year. Precipitation between now and Saturday looks like this. A lot of this right here is today from that upper level low, that pesky low making its exit. So scattered showers and thunderstorms will be found elsewhere. If you notice, they're right along the divide. So if we go through the thunderstorm pattern, I'll go back to that slide here in a moment. These are the thunderstorm areas as we get into Friday, Saturday. They pick up. Thunderstorm activity is a bit more common and more widespread Sunday as that trough approaches. And there's that severe weather potential on Monday, especially northern Colorado, Nebraska, South Dakota, eastern areas of Wyoming, but down here into eastern New Mexico and those areas here as that trough approaches. And that will also bring much cooler temperatures after a very warm weekend. Have yourself a good Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow.